how to build a villager trading hall and have it so that we don't lose our villagers. Losing villagers has been a huge problem with a lot of folks lately. There was a bug that the whole community was well aware of. It was impacting animals, villagers, etc., where they were being deleted within a full chunk. That bug was solved with the most recent update, but people are still losing villagers and don't quite understand why. So today we wanted to go ahead and cover how to make Trading Hall in Bedrock Edition and not lose your villagers, because that relates, what's happening now, that relates to a bug that's been in the game ever since Kay and I have been playing. Probably it might even be ever since Bedrock began. It still is today, and that's why people are still continuing to lose villagers. So today we're going to show you how we laid out this hall, the reasons we did what we did, and hopefully it'll all make some sense to you and help everybody out. What we did here is we made this, roughly this room is about 27 by 27. This particular layout, we're able to get 99 villagers in here. We used Foxy No Tail's markers add-on to give us visual on the chunk borders. I have Foxy's video for the markers add-on that we're using here. It's linked in the description. Give your armor stand guy any kind of a banner, get him through a couple of different poses, and you will eventually come to this chunk border overlay. So what we did before we even dug our room out was the green lines obviously are where chunks intersect, right? So we made sure to dig out the room. Chunk border is right there, so we dug out the room to here. Same on the other side. We have chunk border running right down the middle here. Chunk border is in the middle this way. That's actually why we laid in the design of the floor the way that we did, was just to kind of give us a visual of that while we were building the cells. So the polished diorite outlines the chunk border. So we know that when we're making a cell, we don't want any villager able to walk across chunk borders, because if somebody is loading or offloading this chunk or logs off, if there was a villager that happened to be walking across, they could disappear. That's what happens to your minecarts also, guys. If you have minecarts with a furnace array or a super smelter, whatever you want to call it, and they disappear on you every now and then, or a collection system for a farm that uses hopper minecarts and they disappear, most likely that hopper minecart is going across a chunk border, and when you log out or unload the chunks, occasionally that's going to disappear. Now that's what's the hardest thing for people to understand too. It's an intermittent problem. It doesn't happen all the time. That's what happens though. Same thing with animals. In your animal pens, pets, if they have an ability to cross a chunk border while a player is logging out or offloading those chunks, they're going to potentially disappear, and it's an intermittent problem. So it's not going to happen every single time. And that's one of the things that's hardest for people to get, is like, well, I've logged in and out before and nothing happened, or I've unloaded the chunks before. It's an intermittent problem, and that's why it's hard to understand it. That's one of the reasons that we wanted to make the video today, because there seems to be a ton of confusion as to why people are still losing things after the supposed bug fix. What we did here, we had our area. We knew what we were going to do. We knew what kind of size we wanted. So we set down the markers, armor stand, got our chunk borders visualized, and then we dug out the room so that we could lay out the cells. And then now what we did, the cell design, guys, is simple. It's basically a triangle. You get one block, one block, one block. We make them 3 high. This way, villager is locked into place, one spot, can't move, can't cross the chunk border. So as long as we don't make the cell on a chunk border, even if we did, this is a perfect example. This cell for the main guy in the trading hall here, he's right on the chunk border, but he can't move. He can't cross that. So if you make your cells 1 by 1s, put your work block out in front, villagers aren't going to move. They're not going to be able to cross chunk borders. You're never going to lose villagers in your trading halls ever again. Well, I won't say ever, because, you know, Bedrock is Bedrock. So let's just say that more often than not, you will not lose villagers in a design like this. So make sure, chunk align your villager cells, make the cells 1 by 1, and 99 times out of 100, guys, your villagers will not disappear ever. The other thing that we do, one other reason that people lose villagers in trading halls is baby zombies. Even if you've got things lit up, mob spawn. It's very rare that you'll get them if you've got the lighting correct. But even if you have one spot that's not lit up correctly, there's a chance for a mob to spawn. If it ends up being a baby zombie, baby zombies can get into most trading hall cell designs. So what we do to kind of prevent that the best we can and make sure that that's never a factor is we put a trap door. We have the job block in front of the villager. That's going to take up a 1 block space. And then we have this trap door here. The trap door is actually, it's not on the upper glass. It's on the top of the glass that would be at head height. So it's actually in this block space. Baby zombie can't fit through here if it tries to jump up and get at the villager. That is the most common thing I think that happens to folks, other than the issue with the chunk border, would be baby zombies getting into their trading hall and wiping them out. So those are our main keys for how to go ahead and basically make sure that your hard work putting your trading hall together is not wasted and not causing you a bunch of frustration.